Nikita Mazepin continues to fight for his place on the grid, while Théo Pourchaire got a taste of F1 with Alfa Romeo. You can now watch full 24-minute episodes of The Inside Line at our official home on unbeaten.com. Haas team principal Günther Steiner says rookie driver Nikita Mazepin is making progress, despite a difficult start to his campaign. Mazepin graduated from Formula 2, where he took 2 wins last year, but has so far failed to impress in F1, where his highly rated teammate Mick Schumacher has generally been ahead. But Steiner says Mazepin is still recovering from last year's social media controversy, relating to a since-deleted Instagram video that showed him groping a woman's chest, which was widely condemned.
I think he's recuperating. I think we still have a little bit of work to be done, but I think he's on a good track in the moment, to get over all this negativism from the beginning of the season, because by showing he wants to be here, he's working hard for it, but we still have a little bit of work to do on that one on the driving side. He's improving as well. He understands now the car better.
French young gun Théo Pourchaire has taken a big step towards F1, with the 17-year-old getting his first taste of the top in a 2019 Alfa Romeo C38 during a private test at the Hungaroring. The Italian-branded Swiss team ran Pourchaire as McLaren, Mercedes and Ferrari completed a 2022 tyre test for Pirelli. I would like to thank the whole Alfa Romeo racing team for this amazing experience and unforgettable day, he said. Pourchaire is currently 6th in the F2 standings, having won the feature race in Monaco, where he was the youngest pole sitter and winner. He's also been in the top 10 at all but 2 races when he's finished. Alfa Romeo also ran former F2 driver Mahavir Raghunathan at the test. Aston Martin is considering its position with regard to an appeal against Sebastian Vettel's disqualification in Hungary, after the FIA denied its right of review request on the basis that its significant new evidence was not relevant. Vettel finished second on the road in Budapest, but was disqualified post-race after the team was unable to extract the required 1-litre fuel sample, with just 300 millilitres provided, well down on its estimations. Aston Martin reasoned a system failure had discharged a significant amount of fuel, but the FIA said that did not excuse a failure to comply. The squad has maintained its innocence throughout. There was and is no suggestion that Vettel's car benefited from a performance advantage from the alleged regulatory breach, or that it was deliberate, said a team statement. F1's power brokers continue to scuffle over how accident damage should be accounted for in the sport's budget cap. F1's top teams are under massive pressure this year to meet the $145 million budget cap, but the cost of crash damage is making the challenge even tougher, with Red Bull's team boss Christian Horner estimating the cost of Max Verstappen's crash at the British Grand Prix to be $1.8 million, a bill that skyrocketed after Turn 1 at Budapest. But while talks have been held on whether rivals responsible for causing collisions should pay for the damage, other teams say that it's a political ruse in an attempt to raise the cap. In the end, it's part of the game we're in. It's down to us to manage the budget in the right way, said McLaren's Andreas Seidel. McLaren was heavily affected in Hungary, with both cars damaged at Turn 1 and Lando Norris retiring as a result. Formula 1 has confirmed sprint qualifying will next take place at Monza and Interlagos, with the sport keen to again run the 100-kilometer races at certain historical events in 2022. Sprint qualifying has been a controversial addition to the 2021 calendar, but while F1's president and CEO Stefano Domenicali says its debut at Silverstone was dramatically positive, the sport is not planning for it to happen at every race in future. We have ideas to create a special format for certain historical Grands Prix and certain special awards that we want to offer and add to the already incredible platform of F1, he said. McLaren has upped its involvement in top American series Indycar, with the British outfit agreeing to acquire a majority 75% stake in the Arrow McLaren SP team before the end of the year. McLaren returned to IndyCar full-time last season after a 40-year absence, partnering with Schmidt-Peterson Motorsports, and has since earned 2 victories, both this year with Pato Award, with the Mexican earning his maiden IndyCar win in Texas.
Man, everybody in this team has been doing such a good job, and we bounced back from last weekend. We got a podium yesterday, we had pace, and we got the job done today, man. I couldn't be happier for another group of guys.
McLaren now races in Formula One, IndyCar, Extreme E, and in esports with its shadow teams. It's also signed an option for Season 9 of the Formula E series in 2022-23. Mercedes has finally admitted it made the wrong call in Budapest, having estimated Sir Lewis Hamilton could have been as high as 5th had he not stayed out for the red flag restart at the end of lap 1. The Hungarian Grand Prix was marked by its huge crash at turn 1 that triggered the red flag, but technical director Mike Elliott says the team had good reason to be conservative and leave him out alone.
We have the first pit box in the pit lane. So as we'd have come into the pit lane and we'd boxed, all the other cars would have been pouring past, and it would have been very difficult for Lewis to get out, and that would have delayed us.
Elliott also admitted being the leader has drawbacks, with Hamilton unable to react to what he saw behind him on the second formation lap.
When you're the front car, you can't see what everybody else is doing. You're the lead car. When you're further back in the chain, you can see what others have done and you can change your mind accordingly. You can use that new evidence to your advantage.
Nicholas Latifi says COVID-19 was the catalyst for change at Williams, given its dire financial state and performance pre-pandemic. Williams was once owned and run by the Williams family, with its former team boss Claire Williams, daughter of legendary founder Sir Frank. But Latifi, speaking to F1's official podcast Beyond the Grid, says that the pandemic brought the squad to its knees.
When I joined the team, obviously, the team was in a very difficult place financially, as it was for a few years. Performance-wise, they were struggling quite a bit, coming off the back of a very, very difficult season in 2019. And then COVID hit and kind of really just, I guess, was the final nail in the coffin for things, which was, for sure very unfortunate.
The former powerhouse team is now owned by US firm Doralton Capital, and Latifi says the future looks far brighter, with 2021 bringing regular Q2 appearances and chances for points, with Hungary its first double points finish since Italy 2018.
I think the team is definitely has the foundations to to be the makings of a top teams in a few years. I mean, hopefully less years than more.
Belgium's Spa-Francorchamps circuit has been declared safe by F1 race director Michael Massey, despite a major multi-car accident at Raidillon in the recent 24 Hours of Spa event. Davide Rigon and Jack Aitken were both hospitalized after the massive smash, with the Brit sustaining fractures to his vertebrae and collarbone. But while the accident bore resemblance to 2019's Formula 2 race that tragically claimed the life of Antoine Hubert and left Juan Manuel Correa with serious injuries, Massey says he's happy with the track. There are a few changes and improvements that are made year on year, but I think the way that it is safe from an FIA perspective, he said. The Belgian track's owners announced a new €80 million upgrade program last year, which involves new or extended gravel traps at a number of corners, including Raidillon. The circuit was badly affected by floods back in June, with access roads and infrastructure damaged. Thanks for watching. To stay up to speed on all things Formula One, make sure you hit the subscribe button.